Sahana bhavatu sahanau bhunaktu saha viryam karavavahai tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Bolo Swami Sadguru Shivananda Maharaj Ki Jai. Om Bolo Swami Vishnu Devananda Maharaj Ki Jai. Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Namah Shivaya. I offer my pranams to the lotus feet of Masters. I pray Masters give us all the understanding. It's Swami alone who speaks, and it's Swami who listens through all of us. Hari Om Tat Sat. Good evening to you all. So we are in chapter 4, slokam number 12. So here Bhagavan says, why most of the people are not choosing this path? That is because most of the people desire the result of action, Arjuna. Moksha is a result of knowledge. Many of the ordinary people, they desire the results of action. They want measurable, quantifiable, quick. Chipram means quick, temporary happiness. That is what ordinary people want. So they are not choosing this path. So whatever they ask, I give. Kangshantaha karmanam siddhim yajanta iha devataha. Desiring that little result of action, these people, these ordinary people who are interested in this materialistic world, devataha, they worship. Devataha means little god. They are all also jivas. Like animals, birds and plants, they are also jivas, and we are also jivas. And we are little higher than this animals, birds and plants. Likewise, these devatas are above us, and they are also jivas, but they have more power to give. So they have their own abilities. We also would have come across in our routines, people would say that go to visit this temple, you get this benefit. You do this puja, you get lot of wealth. You do this, you go to this temple and you will get success in your examination. There are a lot of temples and there are a lot of devatas like that. So they are all called little gods. They are also jivas. They have little higher power. So Bhagavan says, see, if we want money, we go to that person who gives money, right? We don't go to somebody else who doesn't have money. So they go to that place and they know that that devata is capable of giving you that. So they worship and they get that done. So when our desires, we have various desires in our mind, when we want the urge to fulfill all those desires, we approach these devatas and we worship them and we remain stuck with that devatas because we know that this is happening. So it gets into the loop. We keep on going with our greed. So if you approach me, Bhagavan says, if you approach me, I give everything. But you approach this little devatas, you approach these devatas to get whatever that specific desire that you want. Kshipram hi manushe loke siddhir bhavati karmaja. Manushe loke, in this Manushya lokam, in this world of humanity, karma plays an important role. The resultant of karma is kshipram, quickly seen, and that is what ordinary people, they would like to do. Only we human beings, only these Manushyas have this do's and don'ts. Animals, birds and plants, they don't have such rules. They don't have such do's and don'ts. Why? Because they do not have any papam or punyam. but we have this papam and punyam. So we have this do's and don'ts restrictions. But animals and birds, they go by their instincts. So why human beings have this? Because we have the choice to choose what to do and choice to choose in which path we need to walk. And the guidance are all given by the Manu. We have seen in the earlier slokams. When we get a desire, when we want to do an action, when we want to buy something, suppose for example, I want to buy an object. What I will immediately do, I will find out where is this object available, and then what is the rate, and do I have enough money? Do I have to work more to get that money to buy that object? Now, having obtained that, having achieved that money, how do I go and buy this object? What mode do I choose? Do I take a car and go, or do I go by motorcycle, or do I take a public? All these I have the choice, and then I work. If I want to obtain moksha, then all I have to do is just be with myself. I have to just be with myself and recognize myself. If I want to gain something in this world, then I have to work. If I have to realize my nature, then it comes only through knowledge. So Bhagavan says, what is that you want? If you want to realize your nature, then you have to sit and get into the acquiring knowledge. First, it would be only knowledge, and we know how to acquire this knowledge. In the previous sloka we have seen, acquire this knowledge. But if you want to fulfill your desires, then you have to go and worship these devatas and get it done. Kshipram hi manushe loke siddhir bhavati karmaja. So this is the siddhi. The result of action are instantaneous, and therefore people prefers that. So there is this creates, when that fulfillment happens, and what is happening, that creates a karma bandha, that creates the bondage of action. When the desired results have come, what are we doing? We are striving more hard to get another desire to be fulfilled and gaining that result, getting more attachment, getting more greedy, again the desire. All these get into the loop, keep on happening, and that is the karma bandha. So what is the way, technique to come out of this bondage of action? Krishna says in slokam number 13, Chaturvarnyam maya srishtam gunakarma vibhagashaha tasya kartaramapi mam vidya kartaramavyayam. Aha. It's a beautiful sloka, but we need to be little more careful in understanding. There is every possibility to misunderstand this slokam. Chatur varnyam maya srishtam guna karma vibhagashaha. There are 4 classifications of human beings. There are 4 classifications, 4 categories of occupations. And Chatur Varnyam. Chatur means 4. Varnyam means color. You can call it as color or class. 4 classes. And all these 4 classes, Maya Srishtam, Bhagavan says it is I who created. Maya Srishtam. It is I who created those Chatur Varnyam, these 4 categories. Guna Karma Vibhagashaha. How are they? They are based on 3 gunas. What are the 3 gunas that we have seen? Sattva Gunam, Rajogunam, Tamas Gunam. So these 3 gunas, based on 3 gunas, there is a action that is getting performed, and these actions are prompted by the gunas. And this human population, so divided into 4 classes, 4 colors. Chaturvarnyam, you can call it as classes or 4 colors. What are they? Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Sudra. The classification of these human beings, Maya Srishtam, created by me only. I am the author. Bhagavan says, I am the author of these. It is part of nature. Based on these 4 classification, an action happen and the results are based on that action. In order to understand this kartavya karma, in order to understand this, it is necessary for us to understand our own nature. What is our nature? What is the nature of this body and mind? We know now these classification is based on the guna and karma, and this is not based on janma. It is not based on birth. It is based on guna and karma. It is certainly not based on janma. Bhagavan says not based on the birth. We can relate this with our scripture exam. We can take Bhakta Prahlada. Bhakta Prahlada's parents were Kshatriyas, and Bhakta Prahlada is almost, we can call him as Brahman. Why? Though he is born to Kshatriyas, he is established in what is his nature? His nature is establishing the Sattva Gunam, and when the nature is establishing that Sattva Gunam, he is almost equal to Brahmana. So we need to understand what quality in us is dominating. All of us have all these 4 qualities in us. We are the bundle of all the 4 qualities, but we need to understand which quality dominates and what percentage it is in, and accordingly we are classified. For example, Bhagavan Krishna says, I am the author of these 4, but I am not the doer. If I were not there, this Sattvic Brahman cannot function. If I were not there, this Rajasic man, the leader, cannot function. If I were not there, the commerce man cannot function. If I were not there, this dull-minded, the Sudra, cannot function. I am the author of everything, but I don't do anything. I am the creator, but I don't do anything. Suppose we have an electricity lamp next to us, which is a reading lamp. We want that lamp little more nearer to us so that we read the book little more clearly. So we pull the lamp. We adjust the lamp according to our convenience, and we are reading. Suppose while you're adjusting your body position, you touch that electric lamp and there is a shock. Is it the electricity that gave you the shock? Electricity's intention is not to give you that shock. Electricity do not give that bulb. But the electricity, without that electricity, this bulb will not function. Right? The electricity is not giving the light, and the electricity doesn't want to give a shock to us. While pulling that, there is an electricity leakage and the shock has happened to you. Suppose you sit in a car and you want to go to a particular destination. You tell the driver, it could be a temple, it could be a mall, it could be a theater, cinema theater, or to a party. So you sit in a car, you tell the driver to go to that particular destination, whatever be the destination. The petrol in the car doesn't want to go to that destination. It is you who want to go to that destination. Similarly, the Chaturvarnyam, this 4 classification functioning because of me, but I am not involved in all. Master says these gunas, all these 3 gunas and karma is the deciding factor. And these gunas, Master says it's like a season. We say rainy season, the rain comes, no? Like that, it depends on the season. The mind in Sattva Gunam, what is the feeling of us? We feel completely happiness, a sense of happiness, a sense of peace. The faith completely crept in us, wisdom. We want to read more scriptures. And the tamasic is not coming near us when our mind is in the Sattva Gunam. When the mind is in Rajogunam, what we want to do? We want to do more activity. We want to create more things. We are in agitation and a lot of thoughts come into us. Some could be positive, some could be negative. We have a lot of desires that come in us. The disturbances, or this action should give this result. Jealousy, greed, all these comes in. And there is a agitation in our mind. Then what is predominating? The Rajogunam. Sometimes our mind is a tamasic. We feel lethargic, completely lazy. We want somebody else to call up and say, hey, do this work, do that work. Even if they say do this work and do that work, we do that work and we go back and rest. The lethargy. That time, the tamasukunam. So how do we understand what is in us? What quality dominates in us? How do we understand what is our swadharma? What is our basic nature? Brahmana, we have all these 4 qualities. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Sudra. All we must understand that this proportion is within all of us. And we have all these 4. And what is in what percentage? That is what we need to understand. Brahmanan activity, we gain knowledge. We read lot of scriptures. We purify our mind. We gain lot of good values. We share the knowledge. Learn and share. That is Brahmana activity. What is Kshatriya activity? Ability to organize things, showing the leadership quality, and to protect wherever things are not happening. If there is something not happening properly, go and protect those people and protect that place and make things happen. And courage to face all the challenges. All the time create new things. I want to do new things. Express your desire to do more activity. These are all Kshatriya activity. Vaisya activity. Sometimes we would like to produce creativity in us. We wanted to create wealth. Even our body parts, they keep creating. Creation is Vaishya's quality. So they keep creating wealth, acquire. All this are Vaishya qualities. And what is Sudra quality? Service of mankind. However wealthy, however we read scriptures, how much ever we acquire wealth, we show the leadership quality, we are strong, everything. But we need to serve this world. We get into this service mode. And so all these 4 qualities lies in us, and what proportion it is lying in you, that determines your natural activity. And Krishna says, whatever be that activity, dedicate it to God. Do it as Karma Yoga. And that Karma Yoga will lead us into purity of the mind. That purity of the mind will ultimately take us into liberation. Though I am the creator, Maya Srishtam, though I am the creator of these 4 Chaturvarnam, Tasya Kartaram Api Mam, I am not the doer. I am Avyayam, I am imperishable, I am not the doer. Understand this 4 class, they are based on Guna and Karma, and certainly they are not based on Janma. We can see one more example. Ravanan, Vibhishanan, Kumbhakarnan. So Ravanan, Vibhishanan and Kumbhakarnan, all the 3 of them are brothers. They belong to the same family. They eat same food. They were brought under the same shelter. What is the quality of Ravanan? He is Rajasic. All the time restless. He want to acquire more, conquer more world. I want to achieve this. I want to be. He was active all the time, showing leadership quality all the time. What is Kumbhakarnan? Tamasic. What does he do? He sleep for 6 months. And one day he get up, he eat, again he goes to sleep. And what is that quality? Tamasic. And what is Vibhishanan? Completely Sattva Gunam, Sattvic. Predominantly we can call him as Sattvic person. So all of us have combination of these. In Vedas, in Purusha Suktam also, it is said clearly, Bhagavan says, from Bhagavan's head come Brahmanas. From Bhagavan's arms come Kshatriyas. If people who chant this Purusha Suktam, if you follow that, you can understand. Bhagavan says, from his head come Brahmanas, from his arms come Kshatriyas, from his thighs come Vyasas, and from his feet come Sudras. All of them are very, very important. Without one of them, we cannot function. So all the four Varnas are equally important. We need to analyze this quality in us. We need to take time to understand this quality in us. In what percentage we have Brahmana quality, in what percentage we have Kshatriya quality, in what percentage we have Vaisya quality in us, and in what percentage we have Sudra quality in us. And that is revealed to understand your own nature. So Bhagavan says, from the relative standpoint of view, it looks like I am the creator. From the absolute standpoint of view, I am not the creator. The divine birth is not being born, it appears to be born. The divine action is not performing action, but it appears to be doing the action. Okay. Slokam number 14. Namam karmani limpanti name karma palesu palesprha iti mam yo bijanati karma birnasa bhadyate. When I perform this action, namam karmani limpanti, when I perform this action, they don't bind me. Limpanti, they don't taint me. Limpanti means taint. They don't taint me. There is a sense of doership. Name karma phalespraha. There is no desire for the phalam, for the fruit, for the result of that action. Namam karmani limpanti name karma phalespraha. I don't have the sense of doership and I don't have any attachment to the results. Therefore, such actions, they don't bind me, they don't taint me. Iti mam yobijanati karma bhirna sabhadyate. One who understands this is my nature, one who understands that I am not the doer, that person is free from bondage of action. Who is free from bondage of action? The one who understands that this is my nature, but one who understands that I am not the doer. By study of our own nature, what proportion we are, we have these gunas and we have these varnas in us, and based on that we perform the action. Once we understand that nature, all the four personalities, all the four qualities, we need to perform the action, and while performing this action, completely dedicate to God, devoted to God, surrender to God. Slowly, steadily, our mind will become pure and we will be able to realize our own self. So Bhagavan says, I don't have any attachment to the result for the action. Arjuna, become free from the attachment to the result of the action. Slowly and steadily, you will become free from all the bondage of actions. Slokam number 15. Evam nyatva kritam karma purvairapi mumukshibhihi kuru karmaiva tasmatvam purvaih purvataram kritam. Purvairapi mumukshubihi. Purvairapi means in the ancient times. Mumukshubihi means seekers. They sought freedom from liberation. They sought freedom from all this bondage. We are restricted with this limited body engines, limited urgings. We are restricting ourselves with this body, mind and intellect, with our own limited personality. So we are getting into this result. But those days, Purvairapi, in the ancient times, they had the thirst within them to become free from all this bondage. Evam Nyatva, having understood the self is not the doer, the self without having attachment to the results, meaning without the sense of doership. In the beginning, it is not that easy. It will only be, in the beginning, what will be? It will only be a knowledge. But the more and more we keep doing this action in the same attitude, that will lead us to liberation. Kuru karmaiva tasmatvam. Arjuna, Purva Taram Kritam, a same ancient path, that is the way of life. They were all seeking only liberation. That was the way of life. Kuru Karmaiva Tasmatvam. You also perform this action in the same attitude. Master gives one more example. A balloon which is filled with gas. If it wants to raise up, because balloon, if we leave the balloon, it just goes up. But what we want to do, we want to tie up this balloon because we would like to see the balloon. But one day you release the balloon, right? Ultimately when you release the balloon goes high, and it goes to the higher. And when it goes higher, what is happening? It starts expanding. The air within that balloon, it wants to come out. As it goes up, the pressure is less. And then when it gets little higher, it wants to burst. And it gets suddenly burst. And when it gets burst, what happens? The air inside the balloon and the air outside, they just merges into one. And only the skin that falls down. Similarly, Arjuna, follow the path of Karma Yoga. All these bondages, all the attachments, all the identification with your body and mind. When you follow the Karma Yoga, Krishna clearly explained the path, the techniques, the process, who are all the enemies, how to overcome the enemy, how to attack the enemy. Everything was explained to us. So Krishna says, Arjuna, similarly, follow the path of that Karma Yoga. Then the identification becomes thinner and thinner. One fine day, it just bursts and you get merged with that inner self. Kuru karma iva tasmatvam. So Arjuna, you follow that same path, that purvaihi purvataram kritam. That is the ancient path. Follow that path and get your identification thinner and thinner. One day, it gets merged with the inner self. With this sloka, we'll end today's session. And we have one announcement. From this week onwards, we have classes between Monday and Friday. So we see you on next Monday. We'll end the class with the ending prayer, keeping your back straight, eyes closed. We'll chant Om 3 times together. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. Peace, peace, peace. Salutations to masters. Om Bolo Swami Sadguru Shivananda Maharaj ki Jai. Om Bolo Swami Vishnu Devananda Maharaj ki Jai. Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Thanks for joining this class. Have a beautiful weekend. Enjoy your weekend. See you on Monday, same time, 4 o'clock.